So for this week's video on the Newsroom, we're gonna talk about ways to think outside the box and not pay attention to all the external noise that's telling you that you should fail.
Because there's no actual news.
Because there's no news. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Neil Winteregg and joined as always by Dr. Greg Winteregg, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development and author. Check out his book, Fun at Work, down below. It is an audiobook as well, so you can even download it and have his sexy voice narrate the whole thing to you. So,
exactly.
We make this up as we go. He wasn't expecting that. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about just like entrepreneurs, making it go right, thinking outside the box, not being stuck in one line of thinking. And normally on the Newsroom, we find news articles and we talk about them, but I challenge you to go to businessinsider.com or Yahoo Finance or Business, whatever it is that they call it, and find a news article that actually helps you in your business. I looked for a very long time, and
all weekend.
the most informative article I found was about the national coin shortage.
Woohoo!
And honestly, that's the only article I found on Business Insider that even talked about business. Right. I'm not even kidding. It is a joke.
So we're going to talk today about creativity. We're going to talk today about entrepreneurs that are staying on top of all of the regulations and they are thinking outside the box.
And cities that are actually helping
Yes.
their local businesses.
Yes.
For example, in Tampa and here in Clearwater, they've actually had streets shut down, still shut down, so that restaurants can have extra outdoor seating, so that restaurants can actually have people come and eat outside and make some money and help everybody out.
Well, and I just love that is government and free enterprise working together. Mm-hmm. So fully understand the regulations, fully understand the need for social distancing and masking inside, but outside is outside.
Right.
So then the governments got together and some smart people got together and said, well, hey, let's just close down the street where all the restaurants are. And all the restaurants are like, thank you very much. And so they pick up the tables, they move them outside, and there's a street here in Clearwater. It's been shut for a couple of months, just where all the restaurants are. Just throw the people outside. And so that is the restaurant owners being willing to think outside the box and the city officials being willing to think outside the box, and everybody wins.
Yeah.
Now, the one that I really love.
This is like the satirical version, but I love it.
This is the one that I really love is in New York because it is totally crazy in New York. And so the regulation, the way I understand it is you can't have a drink without food.
Right, so bars are not able to be open because they don't serve food.
Right. So a couple of owners in New York got together and they now have Cuomo chips, which is an order of potato chips that you can buy for $1.
It's basically automatically added to your bill. When you come in, you're gonna get a bag of potato chips for $1, which is food. They clarified it with the health department and they said it is food.
And in case you don't know, Andrew Cuomo is the governor of the state of New York. So in his honor, they now have Cuomo chips. And I read an article that he actually thought it was funny. And so he gets some publicity out of it too. But I guess here's the point is you have two options right now. And in the future, when there are regulations, you have two choices. You can comply and figure it out, or you can walk around, you can mope, you can cry, you can complain on your social media and, take selfies of you in a corner huddled up, or you can do something about it. And so I love these entrepreneurs that are getting out there and just figuring it out.
Yeah. I think that now is the time to try these new things or to try something different. I was telling you off camera, I think the food truck industry should be booming right now, and I haven't heard or read anything about it. Now, granted, I was looking at businessinsider.com, which doesn't know how to actually talk about business. But if you actually look, I think right now is the perfect time for a restaurant to actually invest in a food truck and then set that up in your parking lot and serve your food out of there. Yep. And then when all this passes, you now have an extra stream of revenue that you can run. And if something like this comes back, then you are prepared. It's like an insurance plan.
Well, and I want to talk about this because there's opportunity here. And if you don't open your eyes, you're going to miss out on the opportunity. And I know I'm going to date myself terribly here, but I opened my dental practice in '81, and in the late '80s, there was this whole AIDS epidemic, so to speak, and this outbreak, and then regulations, major government regulations came down on dental offices because there's blood, etc. And I had to put a washer and a dryer in my office, had to buy uniforms, I had to buy extra equipment, extra sterilizing equipment to the tune of $4,500. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, when GM, Ford, and Chrysler were forced to put airbags in their cars, they didn't just say, oh, darn, we're not going to make as much profit now. No, they charged the customer. So what I did is I added an $8 sterilization fee to every patient that came in. That way, the equipment is now more heat treated. It's going, the little dental instruments and handpieces are going to wear out faster. They're going to be replaced more often. And so I was able to recover my hard cost within the first 6 weeks. And then I had money to go ahead and replace everything that was going to wear out. But it ended up being a plus because I was the only dentist in the county that had a sterilization fee. Now that could have been seen as a negative. I didn't lose any patients, not one. I had a letter that explained it to them, why we had the $8 fee now, et cetera, et cetera. And also I know when they heard that somebody else wasn't charging that, I know that planted just a little bit of a seed of doubt. Well, are they really doing everything they're supposed to?
Right.
So there is opportunity here. I don't want you to get caught up in doom and gloom and negativity and feeling sorry for yourself. Neil just gave the great example of the food truck. Get a food truck, park it in your parking lot, everybody's coming up, and then after all of this settles down and things are back to normal, everybody's going to want to know where the food truck's going to be this weekend. It's going to be down at the Little League Park, you know, during all the Little League games. And so there's opportunity here. Just do not close your eyes to it and become a victim of this whole circumstance.
Yeah, and stay off the news websites and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. They're just talking about bad news and unverifiable facts and all sorts of craziness. And it makes you feel like you can't do anything about it. And that's not true. So stay vigilant. Think outside the box. If you need any help, please let us know. If you learned something new today, please subscribe, give the channel a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week on the Newsroom, where hopefully we have actual news.